Yeah, Yolanda, thank you. I'm here with longtime Republican strategist Terry Casey, who has helped debate prep for some big-name Ohio politicians, and longtime Democratic strategist and former Ohio Chief of Staff for late Senator John Glenn, Dale Butland. Gentlemen, thank you for being here. First of all, Terry, did J.D. Vance accomplish what he set out to do this evening?
I think he did. He had a chance to get in some aspects of his bio. He clearly made the contrast at every chance in terms of the Harris. Why didn't she do these things in 3.5 years? And also, I think the biggest thing is people saw some civility and some substance, and that's encouraging for the future.
And how about for you, Dale? Did Tim Walz accomplish what he set out to do?
Yeah, he did. But first I want to comment on something Terry said about J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance, I think, for 88 minutes out of the 90-minute debate, did a pretty good job. But it all came crashing down in 2 minutes when he could not say that Joe Biden won the last election and Trump lost. Nor could he promise that he would accept the election results this time. That, I think, was the takeaway of the night, and I think that's the sound clip that you're going to hear in a lot of the coverage over the coming days. With regard to Walz,
Did either of them score big on any particular issue?
Yeah,
Well, I think it's repeating about the economy, inflation, and he brought home a lot about people going to the grocery store, going to the gas station, home, rental prices, all those things are about economics. That difference needed to be drawn out.
on the issues, I think the Walz did exactly what he had to do. With regard to the economy, he did a good job of explaining how the policies that he and Kamala Harris are pursuing would actually help regular people and their families. On the immigration issue, which is another hot button issue, I thought he did a very good job of explaining how a bipartisan bill that would have fixed our problems at the border and was mostly written by one of the most conservative Republican senators around, Langford of Oklahoma, was torpedoed by Donald Trump, who called Republicans in the Senate to tell them to vote against it because he thought fixing the problem would hurt his campaign.
Ultimately, does this debate, in your opinions, make a difference in the vote come November 5th, or early voting, which is underway in a large part of the country?
Well, the normal answer is no, it wouldn't, but because there was only one presidential Harris versus Trump debate back last month, now this becomes the last word, and I think people see in both of them, and again, more substance, more detail on policies and issues, I think that helps make this more important in terms of people comparing who's going to be better for the next 4 years.
How about for you, Dale?
I think history is pretty clear. The vice presidential candidates really don't matter very much, and vice presidential debates matter even less. People vote for the person at the top of the ticket. If you don't believe that, just ask yourself, when was the last time you voted for president based on who the number 2 was? It just doesn't happen. But I will say this, Terry, if you're right, and if by some miracle this debate could move the needle a little bit on the vice presidential side, that's bad news for Trump, because J.D. Vance has the lowest approval rating of any vice presidential candidate since the advent of polling, and that's not going to be changed by one debate.
Dale Butland, Terry Casey, thank you both so much for your time. We'll be hearing much more about this, of course, over the next coming days. Thank you.